Hey, you Middle-earthians, you fantasy lovers, you J.R.R. Tolkien aficionados, you Mordorians, all that kind of shit. We have The Rings of Power, Season 2, the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, The Ascent of Sauron. Sauron or Sauron? Sauron. Now, lots of you have said, marks. Get with it. Finish season 1. Do you know what? I have this long, ever lengthening list of series. If you now said to me that my family wouldn't be traumatized, they wouldn't be sad, and I wouldn't miss them and they wouldn't miss me, and there was some way of kind of, sort of short-circuiting that whole kind of emotional contingent, but you could drop me in Middle-earth and say survive, I'd go, let me at it. I mean, I wouldn't last 3 minutes. But I tell you something I'm a bit concerned about. There's a new movie being made about Gollum. I think that's a good idea. I mean, at first I was like, the specialness of these characters, should we home in on them more than the books were telling us to? But then the weird thing about this season, or this series, or this idea, The Rings of Power, is it feels so epic and it doesn't feel that personal. So I'm hoping this season gets more personal. I hope the end of the first season gets more personal. Maybe it does. But that said, the CGI does look glorious. It's that sort of AI CGI that you see, when you get like a relaxing YouTube film that says, chill, be mindful, and you look at this vista, which isn't real, but it has the most astonishing kind of blossom falling and all that kind of stuff. We are almost getting to a point now where it doesn't really matter if it's CGI or not. What emotional response does it elicit? Anyway. But my major concern, what am I trying to say? I need more than orcs. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing more fun than looking at a dirty, snarly, rotten-faced orc. And that happens a lot in Croydon. But but you got to have more than just orcs and Sauron and rings. And this isn't the fault of Tolkien, and this isn't the fault of Middle-earth. He wrote The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and then had all of these kind of, appendices, the Silmarillion, the Lost Tales, the Unfinished Tales. He had all this other stuff. But did he really, really want this stuff? Weren't these notes? Weren't these shards of kind of history, fictional history? So the fact that we're trying to kind of mine the whole Tolkien kind of franchise for more, we need more than orcs, is what I'm saying. And I'm slightly concerned that what we're going to get is orcs and elves. I want more than that. I want other creatures. But anyway, let's check out. This is the second trailer for Season 2 of The Rings of Power. It's an elevator.
Sauron sees himself as master of all Middle-earth.
He's got a good face.
He seeks to rule it not only through conquest, but by bending the minds of all its peoples to his own.
Nice ring. Nice tree.
That he needs not armies.
No!
But rings.
In choosing to wear those rings, you have all become his collaborators.
I know you believe this ring is deceiving me, but I believe it is guiding me.
All this may be by his design.
These rings may be how he attains power.
They must be destroyed.
We will discuss the rings once you have answered the question. Who is this man?
He is no man.
Who is he?
He deceived me. He is Sauron.
What do I call you? A sharer of gifts. Our work begins now.
I have walked across mountains and deserts to help my friend find his destiny. One the fate of the world may depend on.
Is it my task to stop the fire? Is it my task to face Sauron? To try and cheat death might lead to an even greater catastrophe.
Father, take off the ring.
I'm afraid, Buri.
Every soul in Middle-earth is in peril. Will you abandon them to their doom?
Oh, what have you done to me?
Leave Sauron to me.
Promise me, Elrond. You will not stop until he is destroyed.
Forgiveness takes an age.
I need your axe, old friend.
Fight with me. Fight with our friends!
When the darkness falls, there are always some who rise forth and shine. You will give me the nine.
Liked the music. It was a good swelling music. Check the ring. The ring of power. What is my concern with this? I think my concern with it is that everyone is really emphasizing the importance of every moment that's happening now. And that's not to say that you don't do that, but you can do that, I think, even in Middle-earth in a slightly more naturalistic way. I think that was one of the joys, if I'm honest, of the Martin Freeman, Ian Holm, Elijah Wood Hobbits. There was an informality to them. And this feels like we're dealing with the executive branch of Middle-earth, doesn't it? These are like the bank managers. This feels like Middle-earth, the Middle-earth of bank managers. All the elves are very formal and very sort of staid. There's none of that Legolas stuff. I mean, there's a little bit of it, but I don't know. Lots of orcs, and Sauron can only be so Sauron-y, can't he? Now, I don't want to be a party poop. I don't want to be a naysay. I don't want to be a misery, because I fucking want to escape to Middle-earth badly. So it's not that it's preventing me, but it's just like, I don't know. It's all a bit formal, even down to the accent. Why are all the dwarves Scottish? Who made that decision? They don't have to be. Just give them gravelly, miney voices like miners. I suppose, it was nice to see the trees. The trees were good. The spider, I like all those things that make Lord of the Rings interesting. It's like, I'll never forget the moment of reading The Hobbit, and when Bilbo Baggins goes into that or is hiding behind the trees and the three trolls are talking. It's actually a very low-key scene that, it develops into a fight, but I sometimes worry that with the series and with the films, the fighting or the role-playing kind of element of fighting, like Dungeons and Dragons, overtakes the creation of atmosphere and place. Though, I mean, it looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful. I just wish people weren't so portentous.